Well, I hope that they are willing to take a good hard look and see that people are struggling and reflect on where can we make a difference? Is there an ability for us to help on trickle down to municipal level to the actual citizens, and yeah, take a look and see what that they can do to help everyone.
The countdown to Election Day is ticking by, and the party leaders are crisscrossing Canada, shoring up support for their parties and their local candidates. Now, over the course of this federal campaign, we'll be speaking with municipal leaders from coast to coast to coast. What do municipalities want? What do they want to see addressed in this pivotal election? Well, that's exactly what we're here to discover on Municipal Affairs Canada Votes 2025. From housing to infrastructure, from urban reform to resource development, and from agriculture to social services. Municipalities across Canada are tackling a wide range of challenges, but they can't do it alone. They need a strong and reliable partner at the federal level to help build stronger, more resilient communities. And today, we're diving into the riding of Souris Moose Mountain in southeastern Saskatchewan. Now, this riding encompasses the cities of Weyburn and Estevan. The riding also extends from Radville in the west to the Manitoba border, and from Estevan to Grenfell, and from the Copella River in the north. Now, the last federal election saw Robert Kitchen of the Conservative Party of Canada win with 76.1% of the vote. The People's Party of Canada came in second with 9.17%, then the NDP with 8.5%. The Liberals came in fourth with 4.20% of the vote, and the Green Party walked away in last place with 0.06% of the vote. Now, incumbent Robert Kitchen announced in 2024 that he would not be standing for re-election, and the Conservatives nominated the former MLA and Saskatchewan Minister of the Economy, Stephen Bonk, to carry the banner for the party. Now, to discuss the wants and the needs of the riding and for the wants and needs of the city of Weyburn, Saskatchewan, we are pleased to be joined by Weyburn, Saskatchewan Councillor Kellie Sidloski. Without further ado, let's go. Councillor Sidloski, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking about the April 28th federal election, which is scheduled, as I said, for April 28th. As a representative, as a councillor in the great city of Weyburn, Saskatchewan, what are you looking for from a personal perspective and a municipal perspective from your local candidates as we approach that April 28th election day?
Yeah, thank you. I think that the most important thing that we're looking for is the ability to build a relationship, strengthen our relationship with the other levels of government. I think that to have a candidate who really listens and has a voice for your community, that's of utmost importance.
Now, this is a unique moment in Weyburn's sort of, I don't want to say history because it does often change, but it's a unique moment in Weyburn because your MLA is a brand new MLA. You're a brand new councillor. The new MP, because Rob Kitchener, if I believe that's his last name, stepped down. So you're going to have a new MP as of April 29th. So what are you looking for in that partnership? Is it ongoing communication? Is it open transparency? What exactly are you looking for from a city of Weyburn councillor perspective? Let's start there first.
Yeah, I think it's all of the above. Dr. Kitchen was a fantastic advocate for the community. He was present here. He would stop in and he would meet with people every time he was passing through and had the ability to do so. So I think continuing on with that. We have definitely met and spoken to Stephen Bonk, our Conservative member who's running, and he's been present in Weyburn, and he has been listening and willing to build our relationship. So I think just continuing that is very important.
I know we all have our own personal biases, and we all have our personal beliefs of who should win and who shouldn't. But as a municipal representative, are you open to having conversations with any of the party candidates who are running in this election? Because Hypothetically, I know Saskatchewan is traditionally a very blue province, but hypothetically, there could be an upset, there could be a challenge. So, do you want to forge those relationships with those other parties just in case,
Oh,
hypothetically, if some of them
absolutely.
does win?
Absolutely. I think it's always important to do that. You see it on a provincial level. We speak with our MLA, but it is also important to speak with opposition to ensure you have those relationships and you have the ability to bring anything of concern forward and to hear their concerns. Same as on a federal level. I give anyone credit who's willing to put their name in it. And it's, yes, you definitely have to listen to everyone, I believe.
Now, you just recently ran in your own municipal campaign, and we have an episode with you of the cross-border interviews coming up in a week's time, talking about that jurisdictional purview. During the campaign, did you hear federal issues since you've been elected to municipal office? Are you hearing federal issues that local people of Weyburn are wanting addressed in this campaign, or is it pretty much what you're hearing nationally? Affordability, taxes, Trump tariffs. What are you hearing locally on the federal landscape of what the issues are federally for the people of Weyburn?
Yeah, I think there's definitely an affordability crisis going on right now, and you hear that from everyone. That trickles down from federal to provincial to municipal. And so I think that is probably the most common thing that you do hear through it, and it's a concern for everyone.
And what are you hoping to hear from the party leaders and the local candidates to address that issue?
Well, I hope that they are willing to take a good hard look and see that people are struggling and reflect on where can we make a difference? Is there an ability for us to help on trickle down to municipal level to the actual citizens, and yeah, take a look and see what that they can do to help everyone push, do what we can to push out of this crisis we're experiencing.
Now, I'd hard pressed to say that the tariff situation has not played a major role and challenge over the last few weeks in Weyburn as a major agricultural hub. We saw the recent tariffs from the canola industry on the canola industry from the Chinese government. We are seeing the potential tariffs as of, we should mention that we're recording this prior to any actual reciprocal tariffs from Donald Trump. But if they do come in, that could have major impacts on the resource sector, on local businesses. Are you hoping that your local candidates will be addressing how they will, with their respective party leaders, address these tariffs? Because if these don't get taken off, Weyburn, I can imagine, is going to be in a very not nice picture by the end of this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Weyburn, unlike or like everyone else, it feels the effect. Everyone will feel the effects of these. It's concerning to all, to businesses, to people who are already struggling, and to think that this could have an even worse effect is troublesome. And then to have a federal election thrown in the middle of all of it isn't helpful on its own. So yes, we are hoping for someone to have a voice, advocate for us, and have everyone come together and really fight for our country and for everyone else who will inevitably feel the effects of these tariffs.
Now, I often follow up with a question about party leaders going into these smaller cities like Weyburn. I would be hard pressed to say that Pierre Poilievre or Mark Carney are going to be in Weyburn, Saskatchewan this election. I could be wrong. I'm assuming there was a NDP leader in your city during his time as NDP leader, and that is Tommy Douglas, because that you were literally the city that born Tommy Douglas.
Yes.
What do you hope to see from the party leaders over the next 20 days as we enter into this final stretch of this campaign? Because you are probably not going to get the ear, but what should they be talking about to make people of Weyburn feel a little bit more relaxed, at ease, heading into this uncertain future that we hold?
I think it's really important that we have a voice for Western Canada. I am in the oil and gas industry. Weyburn has a large presence in the energy industry. And I think having a voice for someone advocating for us is very, very important. Pierre Poilievre actually came through for the oil and gas show 2.5 years ago. So that was awesome. The oil and gas show is a big event here in Weyburn. It has all kinds of people in town to showcase what we do. And he did come down and do a tour and listened to people and met people. And I think that that was fantastic to have a voice represent us from out here in Western Canada.
While the party leaders will probably not be in Weyburn during this election, I can imagine that local candidates will be in the Weyburn area during this election. So what's your, how do I say this correctly? How do I ask this question correctly? I'm going to ask it and then I'm going to see if I actually asked it correctly. What do you hope residents of Weyburn ask their local candidates at the door when they knock on it? Because we talk about the challenges that municipalities are going through right now, that trickle down effect of what's going on federally trickles down to the province trickles down to the municipalities. So what do you hope residents of Weyburn ask their local candidates about the issues that are going on in Weyburn?
I hope they ask those hard questions. I hope they ask how they see us growing from where we are right now. I think that it has been a struggle lately, and there's multiple factors at play. So really asking those questions and asking them what their party is doing to help propel us forward. I think that's really important.
And my final question for you, Councillor, what are you hoping for from the next federal government? We talk about what you're hoping during the campaign, but as of April 29th, we will have a brand new government because it will be a completely different landscape than we are in right now. What are you hoping from the next federal government?
Yeah, I think we're hoping for, I touched on it earlier, those relationships and building that communication, representation from a municipal level. We're always open to grants and a little extra money trickling down our way. I felt like I had to say that.
You wouldn't be doing your job for the people of Weyburn if you didn't say you want more money from the federal and provincial government. Of course, go ahead.
That's right. So any kind of grants or extra programs that might help alleviate pressures that we're feeling on a municipal level, I think that is a hope for us.
Councillor, I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to do this. So much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in for another episode of Municipal Affairs Canada Votes 2025. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform or follow us online on YouTube at Cross Border Network. To learn more about the people and the communities that we feature on this show and our sister shows, be sure to follow us online at crossborderinterviews.ca. Now, your support means the world to us. So share this episode with your friends, your family, and yes, even your community across Canada, and help keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we're back with a brand new episode of Municipal Affairs Canada Votes 2025 tomorrow. Till then.